years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
It's 9 o'clock, Hartford temperature. We have 36 degrees. I'm Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News. Taking a look at traffic this morning, we've had a number of crashes, although that seems to have calmed down at least a little bit. Earlier wrecks in Middletown, Meriden, East Hartford, and elsewhere have been cleared, but we do have still that problem in Thomaston. A little good news to report, Route 8 southbound is now open, at least in part. It was totally closed last half hour, but now Route 8 southbound between exits 40 and 39 has only the right lane closed as crews work to investigate and clear a earlier jackknife tractor-trailer crash in that area. Testimony is expected to continue Monday in the murder trial of Jose Morales in Milford. The 48-year-old is accused of killing the mother of his 14-month-old daughter, Christina Holloway, in December of 2019. On Friday, jurors heard the audio of 911 calls made to police that day. They also heard from Lori Piccarello. She's the mother of the man who owns the house where Holloway lived and testified about noises she heard coming from the upstairs apartment.
They were like, oh, and then a pause, and the last one was really hard.
One juror was dismissed because they were related to an officer who was on the witness list. Again, it's all expected to continue on Monday. Police say that the Winstead woman already facing animal cruelty charges has been hit with additional charges. 28-year-old Sarah Spolak turned herself in Thursday on 2 additional warrants stemming from an ongoing investigation. She faces 36 additional counts on the 2 warrants. Spolak was arrested last month on animal cruelty charges after a raid on her home. She and David Reed were charged in the March case. Spolak is free on bond and is to appear in court later this month. A woman receives hospital care and a man's under arrest after a shooting Thursday night in Waterbury.
The call came in just before 11 Thursday night on a report of an assault at 210 Berkeley Avenue. A 44-year-old woman was suffering from multiple gunshot wounds, currently in critical but stable condition at an area hospital. Under arrest is 56-year-old John Irizarry of Waterbury. Police say the two were involved in a relationship and had some type of domestic dispute that led up to the shooting. The woman's 22-year-old son called 911. Irizarry is charged with criminal attempt at murder, assault, criminal use of a firearm, and other offenses. He was being held on $1 million bond. Police also say that Irizarry is a convicted felon who should not have been in possession of firearms. John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
South Carolina carries out its second firing squad execution in the state's history. A man convicted 2 decades back of killing an off-duty police officer and a convenience store clerk. Local Associated Press reporter Jeffrey Collins witnessed it.
He had no final statement, so there was no lawyer to read the final statement. They came out, and right at 6:01, they put the hood over his head. The prison employee then walked across to open up that black shade. It's like a pull shade where the shooters are. The shots were fired much more quickly this time. Shots were fired about 30 seconds after that pull shade was lifted.
And Passover begins this weekend. Jews use these 9 days to reflect and celebrate their exodus from slavery at the hands of ancient Egypt. Rabbi Yosef Wolowski, the executive director of Chabad Jewish Center in Glastonbury, explains the underlying message of the period.
The underlying message of Passover is that through our relationship with God, we can experience miracles. And this idea of human freedom is really a gift from God.
The period's marked with the Seder dinner, which they're serving at their 23 locations, and you can get more info on that by calling 860-659-2422.
WTIC weather.
For today will be cloudy, breezy, and colder with a mix of rain and snow. We'll accumulate a coating to an inch or so in spots before becoming all rain, high 40. That rain and drizzle continues tonight. A few flakes could still mix in, low 36. Off and on rain and drizzle tomorrow as the storm begins to pull away. It warms up a bit, high 53. Monday, partly sunny, even warmer, the nicest day of the next few, high 65. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
And I'm Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News. Up next, it's Computer Talk with Tab.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Concerned about your gums? Columbia Dental's expert periodontists specialize in treating all gum conditions, helping you achieve a healthy, confident smile. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
Here's comedian Howie Mandel for hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
Yeah, I'm holding a new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-in sneaker, and first of all, I barely know I'm holding it. It's that light. You see, Cozy Fit is a cool new sneaker where the upper is made of a soft quilted material. It's kind of like a little puffer jacket for your feet, except it looks like a super stylish sneaker.
Introducing new Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins, the latest comfort creation from Skechers. You can find Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Ooh, ma.
What was that?
That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This year, celebrate Easter at either Evergreens at the Simsbury Inn or Seasons in the Avon Old Farms Hotel. You'll enjoy a gourmet buffet featuring traditional Easter dishes, live music, and there will be appearances from the Easter Bunny. For just $79.95 per adult, you can get out of the kitchen, relax, and enjoy Easter. There are seatings at each location between 10:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. For a reservation at Evergreens, call 860-392-0309. For a reservation at Seasons, call 860-269-0240. Reservations will go fast, so call and make your reservation today. Celebrate Easter Sunday this year with us at either Evergreens or Seasons.
Hey, Yard Goats fans, get ready for a thrilling season of baseball. And make sure you don't miss a single pitch, because this year, no goat gets left behind. Whether you're at home or on the road or out with friends, you can stream every game, every inning, and every unforgettable moment anytime and anywhere, exclusively on the Odyssey app. So wherever you are and whenever you want, the Yard Goats are just a tap away. Don't miss a second of the season. Powered by Verizon. For a limited time, get their best price ever. Drop into your local Verizon store today to learn more.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And yes, it is. Good morning. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we will be here until 11 o'clock. You were probably planning on doing some yard work today, and then you're like, it snowed. So, like I was.
So much for that.
So, yeah. So, he's going to have to put it off till tomorrow. So, cuddle up with your computer. You know, get it fired up there. It'll warm you up, you know. Then if fans are going and, you know, we can help you. I don't know what you want to do with your computer anymore. Turn it on, maybe get a recipe for something, and make some nice chili on this chilly spring morning. But we're happy you're here, so we appreciate that. Feel free to get online early. 860-522-9842 is the number to help. We'll get you on, and we'll try to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. And we, of course, are broadcasting via the Facebooks and the YouTubes. So if you find us on over a Tab Computer Systems YouTube channel, that's where we'll be. And we're also on the Computer Talk with Tab listener network. which is basically a private group. Just ask us to join. If you're not a crackpot, we'll let you join. Only reason we have it as a private group is that we don't want you to be deluged with all those spammer accounts that come into groups.
Yeah.
So that's all it's all about. We don't advertise anything to you. All right. So as usual and customary, we got some news here, and I still find this kind of funny, right?
Okay.
So here's a story. It's over there across the pond at the Register, our favorite technology magazine over there. We'll post it, of course. The UK, they're building loads of AI data centers, Dennis.
Really?
They are. They want to be. They want to be like Connecticut.
Whoa.
They want to be the AI mecca of Europe.
Okay.
So they had their first AI Energy Council. They met this week. An attempt to square the circle, as the writer writes, about the fact that the UK's power is the most expensive in Europe.
Whoa.
Which is relatable here to Connecticut.
Well, I was going to say, that sounds a little bit like the predicament Connecticut's in.
It's exactly the same predicament.
Ooh.
So the energy industry representatives such as the infrastructure operator NESO, EDF, Scottish Power, and the regulator Ofgem were joined by technology firms Microsoft, ARM, Google, and Amazon for a cozy chat to discuss what they want to do here and become the AI capital of Europe. And again, guys, you need low-cost energy in order to do this. We've known for decades that we don't know how electricity works, obviously. Right. So when I was coming up in school, you turned the power on, it just worked. You expected that your fellow humans are looking for the most cost-effective way to both produce clean and plentiful energy.
Mm-hmm.
But is that what happened over the past couple decades, Dennis, here in Connecticut?
Past couple decades? No.
Not at all.
No.
I heard our governor just realized that maybe natural gas is a good idea. So, in the same problem in Europe. Now, here's the thing. UK energy, I think it talks about it being 4 times more expensive than the U.S.
4 times?
4 times. So imagine your electric bill now.
Well, that could even be worse than what Connecticut is dealing with. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's 4 times. So again, they're the highest in Europe and 4 times more expensive than American energy. And they're trying to figure out how to be the AI data center on the planet. So again, if you just planned in the first place for low cost, plentiful, reliable energy, rather than whatever you were doing, because whatever you were doing does not work.
Right.
You wouldn't be saying, geez, we need more power so that we can have AI do all sorts of great things for us. And right now they have backlogs of people who want to connect to the grid, but they can't.
Oh.
Right? Because there's not enough energy, and it costs so darn much. So this is the exact same predicament we're dealing with here in Connecticut. I'll put this link here for you. Now, they did the prices. Of course, they didn't convert it to U.S. So it's 25.85, I think, pence maybe, per kilowatt hour, or I'm not sure what it is per kilowatt hour. And that's, again, it's ridiculously expensive, the highest of the 28 countries. So good luck, UK, becoming the AI capital of the world. I don't know how many squirrels you're going to need to spin those generators because there's not enough energy the way you've done it. And, of course, they want to square that circle of being clean and plentiful. Well, you should have worked on that a little while ago. So you're not going to be an AI superpower. I can predict this pretty easily. In the same way I could predict that, maybe the stock market might go down if you have more tariffs. I can predict you're probably not going to have an AI superpower if you can't afford the energy to power it. So we'll put the link up here for you. You guys can read it and take a look at it yourselves. What else you got, Dennis? It's just crazy.
I've got a story about Ubisoft, the game computer game company.
Yes.
They sold a couple of years ago. They sold a game called The Crew, which featured cars. I don't know anything about the game other than that.
Yeah.
However, they sold it to people. It is an online game, so they have to host it. All right, but a bunch of people bought it.
Yeah.
And they were playing it, and then Ubisoft said, "Oop, no game for you," and they yanked it from service.
They just turned it off.
Gone. Poof. Sayonara. No more.
Oh my goodness.
the article that I've got about the story suggests that it's because of a licensing agreement that they had with the manufacturer of the cars that was featured in the game that expired.
Gotcha.
So they almost literally had to pull it.
Right. Unless they wanted to pay more royalties.
Unless they want to pay, right. Well, renegotiate another royalty agreement, which was going to be more expensive. So anyway, they pulled it. So all of these people that bought the game, expecting to be able to play it, sued them.
Oh.
And guess what Ubisoft's attorneys said in court?
Well, I know because you told me earlier. So you can go ahead. I won't spoil the surprise.
Players don't own the games that they bought.
Exactly. Those days are over.
Just flat out stated it in court. You don't own that.
Right. Because again, the EULA, the user licensing agreement,
that's 10 miles long and takes 40 hours to read.
Right. Says
that you don't own it and we can yank it at any time, and we don't owe you a thing. Go
pound sand.
Yeah.
And we probably own your firstborn too.
Right. But at any rate, this is being argued in California court, so who knows what's going to happen. But this is something that we've talked about before.
Right.
Everything electronic and online is ephemeral. It can go away on you at any moment.
Right.
And you have no recourse. And you may not get a refund. You are just done. Whatever. It's a major problem.
It is.
For me, I think it might even put a dent in some of the sales for these things, because people are going to remember that and they're going to say, I don't know if I want to spend $20 to buy, quote unquote, that movie
or that game or that book.
Right. Instead, I will just spend, $2.99 to rent it for a couple days.
Yep.
Or maybe they don't even get it at all.
Now apply that to any cloud software you're using as a rental.
Same thing.
And you've placed it in their cloud.
Right.
What do you think would happen? I know what happens if you don't pay your bill. They turn it off.
Yeah.
Right? So you're in the middle of your great novel, or you're in the middle of writing a business plan, and you just haven't paid your Microsoft fee. Well, they're not going to let you connect.
Right.
And maybe they don't like what you're writing. Not that they're reading it. Maybe they're training their AI on it. Right? So now when you used to buy the software, you would have it locally on your computer, and your product was locally on your system, and you would be able to, with pretty much good confidence, know that's where it was. Now, if you're putting it in a cloud, whether it be a Google Cloud or a 365 Cloud or whatever cloud you're putting it into, that user license agreement can change at any moment. And at any moment, it can say, if you'd like access to this, you need to give us that, whatever that is, whether it be the content, whether it be the intellectual property, whatever it is. The EULA could say it now for all I know. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
You don't know either, frankly, because if you had time to read the EULA, I mean, I've done some of those things, like loading a game on my Xbox for the kids, and I would sit there for minutes running through the actual EULA that I just signed my kids up for. And you just hold a button down, and it streams and spins as it goes past you with all the things you're agreeing to.
Yep.
And any update can come down and say, well, by the way, we own it.
Oh, that's true, too. Even though you read the agreement the first time, they can just reissue a new agreement and force you to agree to that.
Right.
And sometimes they don't even really explain it.
And that's the thing.
What's different? Right. What did we change? Well, we're not going to tell you.
Not going to let you.
You have to plow through, 10 miles of text to figure it out.
Right. So be careful with what you're renting these days, because it's not yours. And I know we have to go to a quick break here, but we have a story about Microsoft 365, the family account. There's people were finding that their subscriptions expired, even though they paid for it.
Right.
Couldn't get access to their stuff.
Right.
And this story goes on for most of it, I think yesterday or the day before. And basically, I think what it was here, the final thing that was kind of funny here was that to help prevent a similar impact in the future, this is Microsoft talking, we're further reviewing our testing and validation process prior to deployment. So Microsoft says, before we slam it out there, we're actually going to test it, because we'd rather not have this happen again. Thanks, Microsoft.
You think?
Thanks, we appreciate that. We'll put a link up there for you can read that, so you can read that story again. And again, it comes back down to warranties on the software. There aren't any.
There aren't any, no.
Rights on the software.
None.
There aren't any.
You have none.
And who owns the content? Right now you may, but maybe you don't.
Yeah.
That's getting a little weird out there.
That can change at any moment.
So we're going to step out for a quick break. We got 3 lines open for you. So, Adam, hang on. 860-522-9842 is the number. This is Computer Talk. We'll be right back.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
My feet are so wide I can never find sneakers that fit.
Hi, this is Michael from New Balance, South Windsor and Avon. I know that struggling to find the right width is frustrating, and that's why we stock wide, and extra wide. So no matter the width, we have something for your feet. Stop in today to have your feet measured and scanned by one of our fit specialists. New Balance, South Windsor in the Shops at Evergreen Walk, and Avon Marketplace on Route 44 in Avon.
Glenn Zinn, the IS manager at Luxbond and Green, truly appreciates the service he receives from Tab Computer Systems.
I think responsiveness to any problem that we have, whether that be a broken printer or setting up new computers or a quote for a new computer, I've never really had a problem getting information or getting somebody to help me out.
Tab takes responsiveness very seriously.
I think that's one of the really good things at Tab. The people from the person you call, or I use the customer portal to send a service message, I get responses right away. So there is good coordination with the staff, and everybody's just so professional and nice.
Fast response from professional and nice people. Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com.
I would definitely recommend Tab to any other small businesses in Connecticut. The professionalism has been wonderful throughout the years.
Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more, and as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code FAST. swishradio.com, code FAST.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyers Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
And we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab. 3 lines open for you. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. I know you're not outside doing yard work. I know you're not doing that.
No.
I got bags of fertilizer waiting for me, too. But it's a little slushy out there, so I saw my neighbor mowing his lawn yesterday. It was kind of funny. Let's go to your calls, though. Let's go to Adam in East Hartford. What's happening, Adam?
Good morning, gentlemen. And first I want to tell you, I have your program on every week, and I may not catch all of it because sometimes it's in between shaving with the electric razor or washing some dishes or making a bed, so I catch every minute of it. But hey, what I called about, though, was Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a Facebook account, and the only reason I never had one is because back in the 09 era, I used to email too many people, and I just had heard that once you join Facebook, that everybody and his brother tries to get a hold of you, and I didn't want to have too much contact, right?
All right.
So
that's your prerogative.
Somebody sent me a text yesterday about Doge, and it was on Facebook.
Yeah.
Over the phone, and somebody I know, and I opened it up. And then next thing you know, I tried to set up an account, and then right away it suspended my account for 180 days.
You tried to set up an account, and it suspended it right after you set it up?
Right. So what I'm guessing, at first I thought it was because maybe somebody sent me political and conservative, but I also went to reopen it through the email or appeal, and through the email it wanted a video, so I used my personal cell to do a little video. And then it made it sound like it was a security issue, like too many people tried to sign in on it. I don't know.
I don't know either, Adam, but it sounds like they're trying to prove you are who you say you are, but I don't think Facebook cares, unfortunately, that much.
Facebook doesn't do that.
Yeah.
The only way Facebook will verify you is if you pay them for what they call a verified account.
Right.
And you would already have to have the account in existence, and then you'd have to go through the process of doing that.
Yeah.
It would all be voluntary, and it would all be started with you. It wouldn't be something that you get, like a text or an email or anything that triggers it. No. That's not how that works.
So the Facebook account you created, you got off your phone and you went to your computer and you sat down and said, I'm going to create an Adam Facebook account. Is that what you did?
Yeah, but then I went through the phone because the computer I couldn't find a spot to appeal. And I don't have a good iPhone. I have a cheapy Go phone because I've always relied on my landline, which you guys want me to get rid of. But I have a cheapy AT&T Go phone, which is a pile of junk.
Yeah.
But the point being, they said that you'll hear from us like in about 48 hours. So I'm going to find out if it goes through. But
you have a computer, Adam, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with how you're doing this and what they're asking you for or why you'd be suspended, because I can't imagine what you posted that would have caused that, especially these days where Zuckerberg actually said they're changing their whole fact checker approach. So unless you put something so ridiculous or so awful on there that you've been suspended, I would say just create a different account, right? You can create depending on how many email boxes you have, you can create as many Facebook accounts as you want with every email attached to it. So I would abandon the one that's giving you trouble, as far as I'm concerned, because you've never been on it before anyway, so nobody even knows you're there.
And there's no content that you put there that you want to keep it for any reason. So yeah, just let it go.
Let it go. Create a free Gmail account, Adam at whatever, and just start fresh. And don't care about whatever's happening on this account, because something weird's going on in this account. I would abandon it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what happened was I won't be on the phone here long, but I didn't post anything. Somebody emailed me something about Doge, and I opened it,
Right, and that can be a thing that happens. People can give you links to stuff that's on Facebook or on any platform that's out there, X or whatever platform.
And if you get that link, it will want you to
sign up.
Well, sign in, assuming that you already have an account, but you can make one at that moment. But I don't. There's just something that doesn't sound right about this. It doesn't sound like it's really the real Facebook involved here. Something else is going on. I have no idea what.
Yeah, something sounds fishy. So
it very well could be a scam. But thank you for your time, and I'll keep listening to the program.
All right, Adam.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is one of those things, right? You have to be very skeptical these days, and anything you receive via text like that, I would tell you not to do anything with it unless you're sure of who sent it to you.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
That's half the battle. I send my own kids stuff in our chat, and now they won't open it because they say, Dad, this looks like spam. I'm like, I'm your dad. I'm not spamming you. I want you to read this for a reason. I mean, they give me a hard time because of what I do. Feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. Bob, hang on. But we have 3 lines open for you guys. I know you're not out there doing yard work, so you got no excuse. Give us a ring. We'll help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns if we can. And you can stay nice and warm, cuddled up by your computer. It's putting out, I don't know how many BTUs of heat these days. We'll be right back.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
Good morning. It is 9:30, and we have 36 degrees in Hartford. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News. You'll want to be careful this morning on our roads across Connecticut. There are a number of problems after the mixed precipitation that came down overnight and into this morning. A lot of the problems that we're seeing now are focused in the greater Litchfield County area. It was more widespread, but earlier crashes from Middletown up to East Hartford have since been cleared. But in Harwinton, we have a new crash reported on Route 72 that's closed between East Church and Reservoir Roads, where there's a car versus pole crash with wires that are down. And also that jackknife crash in Thomaston. It's causing a snag on Route 8 southbound between exits 40 and 39. The right lane now closed, but that is a step in the right direction. The highway was totally closed a little while ago. Just be careful out there on the roads. That bad weather today is the reason why we're celebrating UConn's Women's College Basketball National Championship Parade tomorrow afternoon at 1. Not this morning at 11 when it was supposed to happen.
The parade will be followed by the rally outside the XL Center with comments from Coach Gino Auriemma, the players, and Governor Lamont.
That's WTIC's John Silva. There are indirect nuclear talks in Iran continuing today.
These talks in Muscat are seen as an important first step in trying to establish whether a deal can be done. The most important issue is what kind of deal each side would accept. President Trump has only said that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran hopes a deal to limit but not dismantle its nuclear program in exchange for sanctions relief is possible.
BBC correspondent Elise Doucette. And the final 2 days of the Masters promise to be exciting.
Some of the big names that missed the cut on Friday include several past champions. That's Sergio Garcia, Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, to name a few. They saw their hopes for a green jacket come to an end.
That's correspondent Skylar Henry.
WTIC weather.
For today will be cloudy, breezy, and colder with a mix of rain and snow. We'll accumulate a coating to an inch or so in spots before becoming all rain, high 40. That rain and drizzle continues tonight. A few flakes could still mix in, low 36. Off and on rain and drizzle tomorrow as the storm begins to pull away. It warms up a bit, high 53. Monday, partly sunny, even warmer, the nicest day of the next few, high 65. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
For these stories and more, find us at WTIC.com. I'm Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided, hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there, and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
We live in financially tough times. High grocery prices, high utility bills, and now the worry of tariffs and high car prices. That's why it makes sense to take advantage of outlet pricing. Buy your Subaru at the all-new Bertera Subaru outlet in Hartford and save hundreds, even thousands over other area Subaru dealers. Over 400 tariff-free Subarus are on sale at up to $4,000 off MSRP. Get a brand new tariff-free Forester for only $28,695 or lease for only $259 a month. Crosstrex lease for only $229 a month, plus huge selection of tariff-free Outbacks and Ascents all on sale. And with 0% financing on select new Subarus, you're guaranteed to save even more. Plus, every new Subaru at the Bertera Subaru outlet comes with a complimentary 100,000-mile warranty. So do what makes sense and buy your tariff-free Subaru at the all-new Bertera Subaru outlet in Hartford, exit 33 off I-91 at the corner of Weston and Jennings, or online at BerteraMotors.com. Call 888-799-1150 for details.
details.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Semmel Rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Life is uncertain, but at Columbia Implant Center, you get the dental guarantee with 1 day, same day, 7 days a week dental care. Columbia Implant Center makes your dream smile come true with all the dentists and dental specialists and an on-site dental lab in Manchester. They've evolved over 25 years, now providing the convenience you deserve so you don't have to miss time away from work or wherever you need to be. At Columbia Implant Center, your dental health shouldn't have to wait till Monday morning. Visit ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we're here till 11 o'clock, and we will do our best to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. That last caller, we did even a little more research on that. It's definitely a scam.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything you're getting like that, and then your account's locked out, is a scam, right? And, of course, as Dennis and I were talking off air, the scammers are always going to use something topical. In this case, Doge is very topical.
It is.
No matter what side of the aisle you're on, we're not making this political, but because the content is topical and people want to say, oh, whatever side you're on, the fish comes out, hey, check out what Doge is doing now, or they've, Doge has cut this or what have you, and all of a sudden, hey, I need that. So that last caller, we're pretty sure whatever's going on is a scam, and the more information you give those folks that you're connected to on your phone, the worse it is for you.
Right.
Because they're trying to get personal information and they're trying to scam you. So go and use Facebook directly on your computer, not through that link.
Go to facebook.com on the computer.
Yeah.
Sign in there and only sign in there.
And we've put a link to explain some of these scams that are out there. So if you ever get these types of things, avoid them. Any kind of text you get on your phone, like assume it's a scam. Let's go on to back to your call. So Bob was on the longest. He is out in Hartford. What's happening, Bob?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Great show.
Thanks.
Listening last week, I heard somebody complaining that they were paying prices for Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
And it was expensive. One of the things that's still available out there and it's still free is LibreOffice, which is open source, and it does not have all the functionality of Microsoft Office.
Correct.
But if you're just doing at-home spreadsheets, word processing documents, things like that, it works great, and it is file format compatible with Office, so you can transfer files back and forth. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys.
Yeah, we have mentioned it on the air before, and we're happy to put a link up again because it is good. And a lot of home users they'll be fully satisfied with it. A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I use it for the nonprofits I do work for, and it's functionally it's fine for most people.
Ironically, Microsoft does have a way for nonprofits to get practically free software.
They do. You have to go through some hoops, but you can do it, and it's either almost free or just very, very low cost.
It's called TechSoup.org.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So TechSoup.org. Actually, many companies still don't know this. Many of our competitors still don't tell their clients. So you can get almost free Microsoft software if you qualify.
Not just Microsoft either. You can get, Adobe products.
Yep.
Cisco
products.
Can get Cisco. Yeah. Oh, heck, you can get a whole ton of stuff that way. Oh, Intuit, QuickBooks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Practically free.
Yeah.
So check out TechSoup.org. Yeah, we'll put a link up there for you guys.
Yeah, and you do, like I said, you, Tech Soup.
Yeah, I know it's weird. Yeah.
And that's a Microsoft website?
No, it is its own entity. They are independent of everybody.
We'll put a link up there for you so you don't have to guess.
Great.
But thank
All right, guys.
Thank you.
All right, you take care.
All right, bye-bye. So yeah, there's
As
LibreOffice.
long as you can prove you're a nonprofit, you can do it.
And it's worth it. The only one of the biggest drawbacks that we've ever found by it, though, is they offer enterprise-grade stuff in some cases, which you think, oh, geez, Eric, why would you not like enterprise-grade stuff? Well, configuring an enterprise-grade firewall is a lot different than configuring a business-grade firewall.
Right, and especially a lot of the Microsoft products have to be installed differently because of that distinction.
So that's some of the drawbacks. But otherwise, it's generally a good idea for you to check out. Let's go on to Marie in Columbia. What's going on, Marie?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for taking my call. My question is, I have a 2005 Mac laptop. It was the last running Snow Leopard. It still powers on. And on that laptop, yeah, I know. On that laptop, I have GarageBand, and I have on GarageBand recorded my dad's stories of his childhood. He has passed. Yeah, and it's pretty precious to me. I have backed that up to an external hard drive. Fast forward, didn't do anything with it. I now have a 2022 MacBook Air. I'd like to put it on my new laptop, but I'm afraid to do it because I don't want to lose it, and I'm not sure how to do it.
What do you think, Dennis?
Well, wait a minute.
She's got two laptops and she wants to migrate the data.
Well, and she's already got it in
a backup.
In a backup, I would just copy the data from the backup to the new machine.
There you go. Leave the original. Don't touch the original.
Right. You leave it right where it is, especially because it's as old as it is, and if you ever want to use it, you don't want to do anything to jeopardize it. But yeah, I would just copy from your backup.
Okay, so go to the external hard drive and back it up.
Well,
not back it up. You're going to restore it.
No. You're going to transfer it.
Right.
You would plug that external drive into the new MacBook, and in Finder, you'll see a volume for that drive. You double-click it to open it up, and you can literally drag those files to the new computer.
Because it'll show you in normal file configuration. You can go and pick and choose from the volume and move it over. That's nice. I'm not a Mac user, so I don't know.
Finder is the Mac version of Windows Explorer.
Yes, but it also works. So
it's the same thing. You have the little file folders, and you just drag them from one to another.
But the backup is neat in that it creates it in a native format rather than in some sort of backed up, compressed format. Is what you're saying. When you look at the backup, you're going to see it.
Well, is it a time machine backup or is it just copied files?
We're asking you.
I think it's just I think
it is
files.
because it didn't sound to me like you had been using Time Machine.
Fair enough. I assume she did. So.
Actually, I think I have used Time Machine, but I also backed it up on the external drive.
By copying.
Well, that's what I'm thinking you did, and it's just a matter of connecting it to the new computer and then dragging those files wherever you want to save them.
But if it was in Time Machine, then it would be in machine language.
Well,
Time Machine
with
language.
that, what she would have to do is open Time Machine, connect it up.
Yeah.
Open Time Machine.
Right.
And she should be able to read that Time Machine volume off of the external drive.
In a similar way?
It's in Time Machine format. If she encrypted the Time Machine backup, she's going to have to put in whatever the key is for that. But you would have had to have set one at the time that you created it.
Right.
And if you didn't do that, then it's not encrypted, and you don't
good.
need to worry about what I just talked about. Sorry.
I was just curious. Sorry to muddy the water.
Okay, now, if for some reason I can't find it on the external drive,
then you have to go to the original.
Then you'll have to go to the original, and what you would do that time is you would plug your external drive into the old computer, drag the GarageBand files to the drive, then disconnect the drive, plug it into the new computer, and drag them to it.
Now, when you drag in a Mac, does it actually move the files, or do you right-click, copy, paste? Because you have the issue of moving a file off versus...
It works like Windows does.
Yes.
If it's a different drive, it copies.
Nice.
If it is on the same drive, it moves. Same logic.
Okay.
Because I don't want you to end up moving it off and then going back to the original and be like, where's my files? Because we have that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm afraid to
kind
of begin. But
you're going to find
that gives me... Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. It's kind of a neat project you did there.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's I read a book called StoryCorps, and it's about these people that tell their stories in this little old phone booth in New York City, and they collect all these stories and then publish them. And I thought it'd be really cool to collect my dad's stories from childhood. And so that's what we did. We just went through his whole childhood from 1920s, and it's a really cool collection, and I don't want to lose it, but I also want to listen to it. So
sounds good. Well, good luck. I think it's great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. All right.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
You
Thanks.
too. That's a great idea, because we're going to lose all that information we've always lost, you know? And we've passed down these stories from generation to generation, and they never get translated quite the same way, right? The fish is always bigger than it was when it was first caught. But I think nowadays, coming forward, we'll be able to actually do this with video and 3D, and we could actually be a rendered person describing this type of stuff to our great-great-grandchildren if they care to listen. Actually, they'll have AI just read it for them back, and who knows what will actually happen. But I can just picture myself in some sort of 3D image talking to my great-grandchildren about how we didn't understand how electricity worked in Connecticut, right?
Right.
You know, there was a day, kids, when we didn't understand how electricity worked, and we had to actually choose between food and electricity in Connecticut. I told you my story. My son actually, just maybe a month or two ago, their electricity bill was so high.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, we see our breath at home. Yeah. Welcome to Connecticut. I know. I kid you not. It's either that or food. And he's a college graduate. We're going to step out for a quick break. This is Computer Talk. We'll be right back.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more, this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rush? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically like hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off, they picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask like 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
100 years ago, our founder, Winfred Ira Clark, started out with a mission: sell superior construction equipment and back it with the quality parts and service customers expect and deserve. Today, the W.I. Clark Company maintains that same philosophy. With premium brands like John Deere, Wirtgen, Lee Boy, and more, we provide you the productivity to grow. The W.I. Clark Company, your trusted source for construction equipment for over 100 years. Find us at WIClark.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Did you miss Computer Talk with Tab on Saturday? Listen to the podcast on WTIC.com/podcast.
All right, we are back. This is Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we just got kind of a crazy note from Mike G, who posts all of our stuff to to the live links in our Facebook post. And what did Mike G say, Dennis?
Well, he said that Facebook sent him a notification that it removed his post about Facebook scams.
Because it was some sort of problem.
Because there was a problem with it. It might collect personal data from others.
Which it doesn't.
No, the article does not. The article is just a flat-out warning, what to look for, what not to do, and that's it. It doesn't ask anybody to do anything.
And the website is the Boston Web Marketing website that we found.
Yeah, and they must do, consulting for businesses deal with Facebook, so they get it. They understand.
Yeah.
They know what to do.
They posted simply a way to help. So our discussion of Facebook scams was blocked by Facebook, and we're trying to help people. You can't make this up.
You can't.
You can't.
I'm
literally
sorry.
in real time blocked by Facebook. If you want to see the article that we try to post on Facebook,
you're going to have to go to the website,
ComputerTalkWithTab.com.
I just put it up there, and you will see it there.
And it's the Boston Web Marketing. I don't know about Boston Web Marketing from Adam, but they are legitimate.
Yeah, they are a legitimate company. Yeah.
And the story was put up January 18th of 2024 about this exact type of thing that happens to people. And you couldn't believe that Facebook would block that post, but they did. That's the only post I know of. I used to joke about if Mark Zuckerberg deems it worthy, remember?
Right, yeah, it's not a joke anymore.
Well, it was serious back then, too, because Mark Zuckerberg and those guys were blocking news stories and blocking all sorts of content because even the news content people said, hey, we want to get paid, and they had this big battle going on. So Australia said, we're not going to let you post stuff, and they were fighting over it. And that's why I said what I would say as far as Mark Zuckerberg deeming it worthy. And then Zuckerberg comes out and says he's not going to block content anymore the way they had their fact checkers out there who would decide what is true and what wasn't true. And now they have their community notes style approach to facts. There's nothing wrong with the post that we put there, and it instantly got blocked.
No, and here's another thing. The lesson here for everybody. How did Facebook handle this?
Very badly.
No, I'm talking about on a technical level.
Yeah,
what did they do?
Yeah.
They sent Mike G a notification saying that the post had been taken down.
Right.
They didn't send him a text link to his phone.
No.
They didn't send him anything saying to log into something.
Right.
They didn't ask for a video conference.
No.
They didn't do any of that. They just said flat out, we removed the post.
Right.
That was it.
Right.
End of subject. And that's typically how things are handled with actual Facebook.
Right.
That's what makes this different from what the scammers are doing to people.
That's a good point to make.
Yeah. That's that's the lesson that we can take away here.
Well,
but
other
the
than
comedy of the irony of Facebook.
Yeah, you can't make it up. That's just nutty, man. What's real on the interwebs, right? I mean, we're trying to help people, and they instantly pull it down. And of all the things that we've posted over the years on Facebook, of all the things, I mean, we've posted thousands of links.
Thousands and thousands of links. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one that Facebook says, that's a bridge too far.
And I don't know if there's any way that Mike G can appeal that.
I almost want him to post the screenshot
of
the post from Facebook. Mike, if you can do that, post a screenshot
of the notification.
And describe Boston Web. Maybe describe the link.
Yeah.
Without making it a link. Make it a non-linkable link that people could type in to go see what they took down. We'll beat Facebook at their own game. Isn't that nuts? You can't make it up. And people wonder what's real. I don't know.
Whoa. So,
as we digest the lunacy of what just happened, we have some news here for you. It's kind of disturbing, and this is again, it's bad security, bad hygiene. A pharmacist is accused of using webcams to spy on women in intimate moments at work.
No.
Yes. Now, the lawsuit claims that this cyber voyeur went undetected for years using hundreds of PCs due to lack security. So basically, the University of Maryland Medical Center has been accused of compromising. The guy was accused of compromising their IT organization systems, and he was using spyware to get access to webcams, and over 400 computers were compromised in this way. He would, in clinics and treatment rooms and labs, he was putting spyware on the university's systems. Now, of course, this shouldn't occur for nearly a decade.
A decade?
Yeah, I just saw that here. For nearly a decade, Matthew Bathula installed spyware on at least 400 computers. So the reason is it's obviously sick what the guy was doing, but the reason we bring this up is because your cyber technology is supposed to be looking for this kind of stuff, guys.
Yes.
And this is a University of Maryland Medical Center. So again, university.
Right. They should have serious security tools and good management of their IT resources.
Exactly.
But apparently they didn't.
The lawsuit is really targeting the university rather than the pharmacist because they failed to comply with HIPAA.
Yes. Correct.
400 systems. So HIPAA, just so you know, was started back when Clinton was president in '92. Right? I mean,
yes, it was. It goes way back.
It was way back to when we started the income tax in Connecticut. That's how far back it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just still now not properly scanning these systems. If you're at the University of Maryland here, Medical Center, and this is again reason I'm pointing it out is because compliance is becoming a thing.
It is.
HIPAA compliance, but should already be a thing.
Well, yeah, HIPAA's compliance guidelines were handed down back in 2005. It took them a long time to develop them once the law was passed, but there's nothing new about it. It is 20 years old as far as something that IT departments have had to deal with.
Yeah. Basically, I guess the IT department did state that they were aware of something going on for years, but they were unable to catch the offender. Yeah. They sent out notices, but didn't really explain what the guy was doing. So the University of Maryland's got some splaining to do. We'll put the link up here for you guys. But again, if you're in the IT world, you should be scanning the systems, and you should be able to find spyware on them, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
it's like the primary thing you're supposed to do. We're not casting asparagus or throwing stones, we understand, but we'll put the link up here for you. 10 years of doing this shouldn't be a thing.
Whoa.
So we're going to be here till 11 o'clock. We have 4 lines wide open. I know you're not doing yard work. So feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. We'll do our best to help you out with your computer calls, your computer comments, questions, and concerns. Mike G's posted everything to Facebook except for one.
the one link that they wouldn't let stand.
First time in our existence. But he's got it all there for you to check out. We'll be right back.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
34 degrees, cloudy with light showers in Hartford at 10 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Lots of accidents from icy roads in Connecticut this morning. When will it warm up, and when will the rain stop? Forecast coming up. Well, it's obvious, no day for a parade, which means the UConn women's basketball team national championship victory parade has been moved. WTIC's John Silver reports.
The parade will now step off Sunday at 1 p.m. from the State Capitol building. The route is as follows: the Capitol at Trinity and Elm Streets, north on Trinity to the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Arch, to Jewel Street, Trumbull Street, and winding up at the intersection of Asylum and Trumbull Streets. The parade will be followed by the rally outside the XL Center with comments from Coach Gino Auriemma, the players, and Governor Lamont. The Huskies secured the program's 12th national championship with an 82-59 win over South Carolina on Sunday. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
The trial of Jose Morales continued yesterday in Milford. He's the man accused of the death of the mother of his young daughter, Christine Holloway, found in her apartment on Myrtle Avenue in December of 2019. 14-month-old Vanessa Morales hasn't been seen since. The jury hearing a 911 audio from the day Holloway was killed. Officer Jacqueline Tressa fielded the call.
She mumbled something as it sounded like stop, hang up, and who are you talking to?
Audio from WFSB. The trial resumes Monday, and the state could wrap its case by midweek, making way for the defense to present its case. The National Transportation Safety Board is trying to figure out what caused a sightseeing helicopter to crash into the Hudson River Thursday, killing a family of 5 on board, plus the pilot.
While sightseeing helicopters are common over the Big Apple skyline, the National Transportation Safety Board sounded the alarm in a 2021 report, saying the public is likely unaware the helicopter tour industry has less stringent requirements than other aviation operations.
Ali Bauman reporting cell phone video showing the rotor blades breaking off the chopper before it crashed into the water. There has been a court win for the Menendez brothers as their bid for freedom after decades in prison.
A judge granted Erik and Lyle a resentencing hearing yesterday. Last year, the former LA County DA asked a judge to reduce the brothers' life without parole sentence, citing new evidence of sexual abuse at the hands of their parents. The decision is a blow to new LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman, who said the brothers have not admitted to lies of self-defense and taken responsibility for the 1989 murders of their parents.
Dana Jacobson reporting. President Trump completing his annual physical and says he feels great.
In January, Donald Trump became the oldest person in U.S. history to be sworn in as president. At 78, he told reporters he wanted to have a cognitive test as part of his annual physical and that he got every answer right. He said the test showed he had a good heart and results were likely to be released in more detail on Sunday.
That is BBC reporter Peter Bowes. A new test could help people who are genetically predisposed to Parkinson's disease.
Israeli researchers say their blood test would allow doctors to detect the onset of Parkinson's in its earliest stages. The test measures levels of genetic material fragments present in the blood that are linked to the neurological damage caused by Parkinson's. Patients would know they've contracted the disease long before they start to experience tremors and lose their motor skills. The test could also play a key role in future clinical trials for new drugs aimed at slowing or preventing Parkinson's. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
In traffic in Stratford, we have a tree down on Route 15 northbound between exits 52 and 53. The right lane remains closed.
WTIC weather.
A rather dreary forecast for today and a wintry forecast as well. We're seeing a mix of rain and snow in our forecast here on this Saturday. Could accumulate up to a slushy inch in some areas before changing over to all rain later today. It will be cloudy, breezy, and cold with a high near 40. Temperatures staying in the 30s for most. Tonight, cloudy, rain, and drizzle continues. A few flakes could still mix in, low 36. And tomorrow, breezy and not as cool with clouds and off and on rain and drizzle as a storm moves away, a high of 53. For tomorrow night, clearing out and chilly, low 39. Monday, perhaps the nicest day in our forecast, partly sunny up to 65. We'll cloud up Monday night as showers return. Tuesday, some showers to start, then clouds break for sun, high 62. Behind a cold front Wednesday, cloudy, windy, and cooler, high 51. This is meteorologist Bill Dager in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues next. 34 degrees, light showers in Hartford. For more on these and other stories, go to WTIC.com. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Will new tariffs impact small businesses? Rising costs and economic uncertainty can hurt your bottom line. But with Swish Funding, your business can stay strong. We offer fast, flexible funding solutions from $10,000 to $2 million for working capital, cash flow, and more. And as little as 24 hours with no collateral needed. If your business earns at least $50,000 per month and has been around for over a year, you could qualify today. Go to swishradio.com and use code FAST. Swishradio.com, code FAST.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Tune in to How to Retire with Fuchs Financial.
The main thing for the majority of the listeners out there who are approaching retirement is I don't want to be surprised.
Helping you build, preserve, and manage your wealth.
So you've got Roth IRAs, you have individual accounts. Finding the right taxable strategy, that's going to be huge for you.
Tune in to How to Retire with Ben Fuchs, Sundays at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, it's Michael DeCibio from New Balance, South Windsor, and Avon. A lot of folks seem to be buying everything online these days, but there's a much better way to buy athletic shoes, and that's to simply come into our New Balance stores where we will actually measure your feet and make sure you get the right fit. And you'd be surprised how many people don't know their true shoe size. We're not just going to sell you a shoe, we're going to make sure you feel comfortable from heel to toe. Online shopping sure is convenient, but I think we're worth the trip. So please pay us a visit in South Windsor at the Shops at Evergreen Walk and in Avon on Route 44 in the Avon Marketplace.
We live in financially tough times. High grocery prices, high utility bills, and now the worry of tariffs and high car prices. That's why it makes sense to take advantage of outlet pricing. Buy your Subaru at the all-new Verterra Subaru outlet in Hartford and save hundreds, even thousands over other area Subaru dealers. Over 400 tariff-free Subarus are on sale at up to $4,000 off MSRP. Get a brand new tariff-free Forester for only $28,695 or lease for only $259 a month. Crosstreks lease for only $229 a month, plus huge selection of tariff-free Outbacks and Ascents all on sale. And with 0% financing on select new Subarus, you're guaranteed to save even more. Plus, every new Subaru at the Verterra Subaru outlet comes with a complimentary 100,000-mile warranty. So do what makes sense and buy your tariff-free Subaru at the all-new Verterra Subaru outlet in Hartford, exit 33 off I-91 at the corner of Weston and Jennings, or online at ProterraMotors.com. Call 888-799-1150 for details.
This is WTIC's Computer Talk with Tab, hosted by Erik Semmel and Dennis Halnon of Tab Computer Systems. Interact with Erik and Dennis by phone at 860-522-9842 or email them in the studio at gethelp@tabinc.com. Get help anytime at computertalkwithtab.com. Now, here are Erik and Dennis on WTIC News Talk 1080.
And good morning. Yes, this is the second hour of Computer Talk with Tab. I'm Erik.
And I'm Dennis.
And we're here till 11 o'clock, and we're finding that the Facebooks is going to, they have an appeal process now. They instantly say our post was bad. First time ever.
But it will take a few days for the appeal to go through.
Right. For them to finally say. Now, I double-checked the check of the fact checking, and that stopped on April 7th. So I guess their way of getting around fact checking is to actually just not let a post go.
Yeah.
If any post that says Facebook scam, they're going to say, hey, we don't want to have that show up. Maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know.
Oh yeah, this is self-protection.
There's definitely nothing about that post that was
harmful to anyone. We would never do that to anybody.
Not knowingly.
No.
So thank you, Facebook, for protecting our listeners from Boston Media Group. I mean, it's just
Boston Web Marketing.
Web marketing, yeah. So can't make it up. So feel free to get online. 860-522-9842 is the number. 4 lines open for you, and we'll do our best to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. As we wait for your calls, we probably have some technology news we can talk about.
Oh, we do. We do. Interesting story.
Yes.
Okay. A few years ago, this guy came up with an app. An idea for an app.
Sounds like the beginning of a great story.
It is a unified purchasing app.
Okay.
For lack of a better description, it allows you to buy products from different places on the web using one wallet. You know, you'd have your credit card stored with them, rather than all these other sellers, and you would buy through them rather than the individual sellers. It was a way to kind of, I would guess it aggregates sales. It's probably a way to find bargains because you're looking for one product among different sellers. Anyway, this guy came up with the idea for the app. He got some investors on board.
Sure.
And the app was what really he was using to sell this is that he was going to use AI to run it. Where you would put in what you want to buy, and the AI would go out and find it all over the internet, and then get you a way to buy it
within his aggregators. Right.
Also, the AI itself would interact with the online seller and submit your payment and all of that, so that you didn't have to do that work. Okay.
You just said, I want to buy it.
It was carrying out all of the logistics of the sales of the sale for you.
Nice.
At any rate, it's a great idea, I guess, assuming that it works. Not something that I would want to do, but I guess people might think it's attractive.
Maybe. We're guys, Dennis. We don't buy anything.
At any rate, he had this app. It was going for a little while, but then it failed financially, went bankrupt. So all of these investors are now out their money.
Uh-oh. Well, that's what happens when
well,
you invest.
They sued him, and it turns out that there was no AI behind this.
You're kidding. He
well,
lied?
Almost no AI. It was all people in the, it's some kind of a call center doing all of this work.
So he
going to find the listings and then going through the logistics of buying for you. It was mostly being done by human beings rather than AI.
Oh my goodness.
So now he's looking at fraud accusations.
Of course.
So, it's kind of an interesting story about the collapse of an app, and it's all because the AI that was supposed to be there wasn't really there.
Yeah.
And it couldn't really do what he was promising it would do. It reminds me of the self-driving cars.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up.
That required human interaction. What?
Every 5 minutes.
Every few minutes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, a human would take the wheel.
And a human somewhere in some call center would have to grab the wheel.
You could have a bumper sticker
the brakes
you
whatever.
could have a bumper sticker that says Jesus take the wheel, but in this case, it's a human that was going to take the wheel because your AI couldn't do it. It was literally less than every 5 minutes. It was I don't know which car service it was. It was either Cruise or I think it might have been Cruise.
I think it was Cruise, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's not autonomous driving when every 5
even
minutes
close.
some guy in the third world is grabbing your wheel and avoiding the mailbox. Man, so a story about an app, an AI app. It's kind of like the whole thing we talked about before with blockchain iced tea. Remember that blockchain iced tea company in Long Island? At the moment they changed their iced tea name from whatever iced tea to blockchain iced tea, their stock went through the roof. It's like
And to be clear,
Yeah.
the company had nothing at all to do with blockchain technology.
Right.
All they did was change the name.
Correct. And everyone said, "Oh, blockchain, that makes a lot of money." How's that going, by the way? I haven't heard a lot of blockchain talk. Have you?
No. There isn't a lot going on with it. No. There really isn't. I
did-
mean, it's an interesting technology. I suppose somebody somewhere is going to come up with a valid use for it. But people have been fooling around with it for a while. It's actually not. It wasn't actually invented in, 2009? It actually is a little bit older as a concept. And it had been used by companies like IBM for different things, but none of them ever materialized into anything resembling an actual real-world use. And that's still the case, 15, 16 years after Bitcoin hit the universe.
So it's interesting. That's a great story, Dennis. So we have 4 lines open for you guys. Feel free to get online, 860-522-9842. I do want to tell this story again. Dennis thinks I might have told it already, but I find it kind of interesting because I'm on with Brian on Tech Tuesdays, and we talk about AI all the time. And I forgot to bring up this other use case because he's always wondering, well, what could he use AI for? And I don't know if I told this story or not, but my middle son is going to lease a property. And the lessor had never created a lease before. So what does he do? Well, he uses AI. Doesn't call an attorney. Of course not. Don't call an attorney. He goes ahead and just uses AI and says, hey, AI, can you create a lease for me? And the lease was ridiculous. My son asked my wife and I to look at it because we have some properties that we rent. And he's like, Dad, what is all this stuff? And so I'm reading this ridiculously long lease. Now, what my son also did, unbeknownst to us, he took and ingested the lease into his AI.
Oh!
And asked his AI, hey, of this lease, what are the most cantankerous components of it that I got to deal with this lessor and the landlord? So he already had a lot of answers, all separated out, done by the AI. It looked beautiful. And my wife and I are sitting back saying, geez, this kid's pretty smart. Oh, this is the AI doing it all. And there was aspects of it that neither my wife or I, or he for that matter, had any idea as far as what the guy had put in it. So he was ready for a battle. So we're on the we spent an hour prepping with him. He's ready for a battle to go talk to the guy, the landlord. And the landlord was like, whatever you want to do, we can change whatever you want. I just created this with AI. I don't care. He didn't even battle with him. My son comes back and goes, Dad, the guy was cool. He didn't even care. He didn't even know what the AI created. Now, my point in bringing this up is about these two people that are creating a transaction that in the old days, your lease could literally be a page, right? The AI has created such a complicated mess of both the landlord and my son not knowing what the heck was going on that they had to use AI to figure it out. Whereas in the old days, you'd ask an attorney. I guess the point is, are we making our lives better? Are we going to end up with contracts that are so complicated because you've asked AI to create them versus having your family attorney do it? I mean, what a mess,
Yeah, I mean, if the guy had just done that,
right,
all of this would never have even happened, and none of you would have been wasting your time trying to make sense of a jumble.
Exactly
that was
the point,
just hallucinated by somebody's AI.
Right. So in the old days, they just, hey, Dad, look at this. And I would have been like, yeah, it looks good.
And of course, the attorney would probably be working from a boilerplate lease anyway. So it would be quick for him or her to do it.
Right. But my wife and I spent an hour, and my son, so there's 3 hours of all of our time wasted.
Yep.
It was fun chatting with him, of course. But about a lease, we'd rather not talk about that. So did AI help is my question.
No. It burned a whole lot of people's time.
I think it did, too.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll see. I think AI eventually will be helpful. But if you're an attorney, you're sitting back and hearing my story. If that's what people are doing, you guys are going to have a lot of work unraveling all sorts of AI-generated contracts that have who knows what in it as far as what people are signing over. So I'm sure you guys are ready for that. That'll be fun. We're going to step out for a quick break. Still 4 lines wide open. I'm not sure what all you guys are doing, but we're here for you. 860-522-9842. This is Computer Talk. We'll be back.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sinks overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler go.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
When it comes to getting the guaranteed lowest price on Toyo tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. And when it comes to getting more free services for life than anywhere else on Toyo tires, there's only one place to go, Town Fair Tire. So when you're in the market for a new set of Toyo tires, there's only one place to go, because nobody beats a Town Fair Tire deal. Absolutely nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
From the Carter Mario Injury Lawyers Studios, visit getcarter.com.
That's getcarter.com. This is Computer Talk.
And we are back, here to help you out with your computer problems, comments, questions, and concerns. We got 3 lines open for you. Feel free to get online. We do have a caller coming in. Real quick, though, talking a little bit more about AI. I had a story I brought up with Brian on Tuesday. Last month, Mr. Gates himself said humans won't be needed for most things, in quotes, in the coming age of AI. He highlighted fields like medicine, teaching, mental health as all ripe for disruption. Meanwhile, Paul McCartney says that an incorrect approach to AI in the creative industries could lead to lost livelihoods for musicians and other creators. All I contend is probably correct. AI is not there yet, but we're working hard to get it there, and it has all been done before, as the Bare Naked Ladies have said. So all AI has to do is sample, and Dennis, you can sit down and say, "Hey AI, write me a story about this in this style, that resembles this." My wife and I just finished The White Lotus. You could just sit and take that content now and write a story. Just ask it to do it. Write a story like resembling season 3 of The White Lotus within that style, and it'll spit out something.
Yeah,
most likely copywritten material it'll spit out.
Well, sure.
But I'm surprised Bill didn't talk about the legal industry, because again, that one is definitely, I think, also ripe for this. Our industry too. Don't get me wrong. Us too.
Yep.
All right, we're all gonna have to find something else to do. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be an interesting time coming ahead with us. We'll see how that goes. Let's go to your calls. Let's go to Jim in West Hartford next. Jim, what's happening?
Well, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
Like I told Matt at the start, my wife and I are senior citizens.
Okay.
And we have very limited computer skills. and we have a very old computer. And if we don't update and upgrade, our sons and grandsons are going to disown us.
Oh, boy.
So we come look to you guys just for a little guideline. And besides that problem, I'm legally blind, which means that anything that I buy is going to have something where it will enlarge print,
Yep.
where it might go from text to voice,
Yep.
and reverse. So anything that you can shed a little bit of light on or give a couple of neophytes a hand would be greatly appreciated.
Sounds good. My kids do the same thing to me, sort of, in different areas. So in this case, our basic advice to all the listeners out there would be to get a late gen, a 14th gen processor. We still are going to recommend Intel, but there are other solutions out there from AMD. But an Intel processor, an i5 level or i7 level, wherever it is in your budget, but i5 14th gen, or it's going to be called Ultra, I think is what you're going to see out there. 16 gigs of RAM or more. If you can afford more, that's fine. The operating system will suck it right up. And a terabyte hard drive, solid state, or half a terabyte, so 500 gigs to 1,000 gigs of storage, solid state, would be our recommendation. Now, there are all sorts of resources out there for folks that have limitations like you discussed. And the operating system itself, Microsoft has done a pretty good job.
They over the past 15 years, they've slowly incorporated a lot of different accessibility features.
It's literally called that.
And yes, in the Windows settings app, there is an accessibility tab that has all of these functions available. You can set them up however you want. We can post a link to Microsoft's own article about all those features.
Have you used those before, Jim, in the versions you've got now?
Well, right now I have an old Intel processor. Someone said they suggested that Apple would streamline things for you, and that it would prevent you from having a lot of unintended visitors.
Well,
Whether or not that's true, I really don't know. I have no familiarity with the Apple machine at all. But here again, we're open to suggestions.
So if you've never used Apple before, I mean, Apple tries to market themselves as ease of use. You could consider it. It will be twice as expensive. The comment that somebody made about it, obviously acting like it's more secure, it's got its own issues there too, and it's just less targeted because it's a smaller footprint. But it's definitely becoming more of a target these days for people's systems.
Yes, Erik and I have worked with somebody who has a Mac.
Yeah.
And that Mac was hit by one of those browser hijacks.
Right.
Where it tells him that his computer's been compromised and he needs to call a phone number.
Right.
It happens to Macs.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of malware also happens to Macs.
The old days of actually having it compromise the operating system is not even necessary because the scammers just want you to call a phone number.
Right. You're right. They don't. A lot of them aren't even trying to get malware onto the computer. What they want is to get into your bank account or your credit card.
They want to trick you.
Yeah.
So, I would say if you look at the Windows world, you'll spend a lot less money, and maybe you'll have some more money to spend on some of the adaptability features you might need going forward to help you see what's on the screen. But the adaptability features of Microsoft have been improved. Chris Radio comes to mind. Have you heard of Chris Radio?
Yes, I have.
Okay. They may have resources too, and there's another company or there's another resource out there in Connecticut that I always forget the name of that also has some resources on how to help folks. And Dennis is remembering that. I always forget this one too. He's supposed to be the guy that remembers everything.
I'm trying to remember it too.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. But there's another resource out there for you too that you can utilize. But I would say take a look at the Windows 11 and the adaptability features within that latest operating system. Should get you a lot what you want, Jim, and it'll probably cost you a little, maybe in that $1,000 range.
Yeah, well, we're prepared, for that eventuality.
Yep.
We know that the stuff, if you get something really good, it's not going to be really cheap. So we're prepared for that.
Yeah, a $500 computer is not a $1,000 computer at half price.
That's not what we're looking at. We realize that.
All right.
People whose abilities as far as computers are concerned are minimal. We're going to have to go for something that is a little more intuitive
Right.
and a little bit better to begin with. So otherwise, we're going to be right back where we started.
Exactly.
I would say that now you're buying this computer in 2025, it's going to be a lot easier to get that right out of the box without having to get anything additional or having to do anything unusual.
And buy it quickly because the prices are going to be going up.
Oh, yes. The tariffs.
Yes.
I've heard about that.
Keep it in mind.
Absolutely.
All right, Jim?
Okay, guys. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
The help is appreciated.
All right. Good luck,
Have
sir.
a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Talk about prices going up. Gold. All my kids are getting married. Gold is shooting through the roof. Just a simple wedding band is an arm and a leg these days. We'll be right back.
And now, a WTIC news update.
34 degrees, cloudy, light showers in Hartford at 10:30. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Iran and the U.S. have begun negotiations in Oman over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program. A spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry making the announcement on the social platform. No overall agreement is immediately likely. U.S. importers are bracing for the impact of President Trump's staggering 145% levy, I should say, on Chinese imports. An immigration judge ruling a Palestinian Columbia University grad student who participated in protests against Israel can be deported. Many people involved in the abortion debate say a movement of so-called abortion abolitionists who want to punish women for having abortions is widening its influence. A woman in Australia unknowingly giving birth to a stranger's baby after an IVF clinic mistakenly transferred the wrong embryo. Vultures have an image problem, of course, and are among the least loved animals in the world, but conservationists in Africa are trying to change that and save endangered vultures by spelling out their incredible value in monetary terms. White Sox crushing the Red Sox 11-1. They'll go at it again in Chicago. Catch the pregame right here on WTIC this afternoon at 3:10.
For today will be cloudy, breezy, and colder with a mix of rain and snow. We'll accumulate a coating to an inch or so in spots before becoming all rain, high 40. That rain and drizzle continues tonight. A few flakes could still mix in, low 36. Off and on rain and drizzle tomorrow as the storm begins to pull away. It warms up a bit, high 53. Monday, partly sunny, even warmer, the nicest day of the next few, high 65. This is meteorologist Bill Degger in the WTIC Weather Center.
Computer Talk with Tab continues up next. 34 degrees, light showers in Hartford. I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News.
Living with chronic joint pain is kind of like getting comfortable on a cactus sofa. You're like, what are you talking about? Well, it never feels good, and it's never going to feel good. So if you want to do something about that this spring, especially when it comes to doing the things you love, whether it be golfing, hiking, tennis, or just walking, I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Connecticut are on it, and they're focused on finally getting you the relief that you need. They've already treated thousands of patients around the country and here in Connecticut as well, whether it's your hips, knees, shoulders, back, whatever. QC Kinetics has solid science. They give your life back without surgery, without drugs, and without downtime. It's really incredible stuff, and they have 3 offices here in Connecticut, Glastonbury, New Haven, and in Avon. The consultation's totally free, so if you're sick of doing nothing, do something and talk to them. If you're thinking about doing something like surgery, call them now. 860-440-PAIN. It's 860-440-PAIN. It's QC Kinetics, located in Avon, New Haven, and Glastonbury. That number again, 860-440-PAIN.
I believe I heard Erik Semmel on the radio and then heard that he was from Tab Computer Systems, and I gave him a call.
That's Bruce Cloder, president of Swiss Cleaners and Uniform Services. He had problems with his computer network.
Our business runs 5 different servers for our different profit centers, and our network was complex to the point where we had different different businesses going on in our server room. Tab understood them all and was able to take care of us.
How well has Tab taken care of Swiss Cleaner's computer network?
They have a great service department. Anytime I call, anytime I email, anytime I communicate, they immediately respond appropriately. We've been using them for 14 years, and in our business, we cannot operate without our network being up. And I'm proud to say that thanks to Tab Computer Systems, we've never been down.
Trust Tab's nearly 4 decades of experience. Call 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, 1-888-TAB-4-HELP, or visit tabinc.com. Technology's advancing business. Tab Computer Systems.
Dreaming of a perfect smile? At Columbia Dental, our orthodontic experts specialize in braces and clear aligners like Invisalign. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit ColumbiaDental.com.
The Red Sox are back on the road and ready for a series in Chi-Town.
That thing is back at the track, at the wall. Goodbye!
It's the Red Sox and White Sox. 3 games a day at 3:10.
Oppo Taco for Tristan
Catch all the action this season on your home of the Red Sox for 68 years. WTIC News Talk 1080. WTIC News Talk 1080 is on Instagram. Follow us at WTIC 1080.
And we are back. And we did think of that name of that organization that helps folks with those disabilities.
It's New England Low Vision.
So we'll put a link to that as well.
We did. Yeah, it's going to be on the website and Facebook unless Facebook decides it's no good.
It could. Who knows? So they'll give you some additional services and techniques and technologies to help with low vision. All right. So let's get back to your calls. We're going to go to David in Vernon. What's going on, David?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Okay, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. We got a little white stuff on the lawn, but nothing on the road.
That's good, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, the daffodils are a little confused. But
yes.
Yeah, mine are slowly dragging themselves out of the ground, and I think they're just going to go back under.
That's right. Dennis lives up high in the mountains. So.
Hopefully the week ahead is going to be improvements.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned Bill Gates a moment ago, and
Yeah.
Bill Gates wrote a couple of books that I purchased. He may have written bunches of them. I believe the name of it was The Road Ahead was one of them, and the other was The Speed of Thought, or something to that degree.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell with either one of you?
I frankly don't read any of Bill's stuff.
I haven't read any of his books.
I have a love-hate relationship with that guy, so go ahead.
Okay, all right. My point was, if you had read those books,
Yep.
and what he predicted, most of it's come true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As far as technology is concerned and things of that nature. But since you haven't read the books, it's sort of a moot point.
A little bit. Although I watch Star Trek.
Well, I mean, you could tell us what he was talking about.
Yeah, please do.
Enlighten everybody.
Yeah, what did he predict?
He talked about flat screens.
Sure.
He actually talked about the fact that your walls would basically be a flat screen, so as you walked from room to room, the walls would change.
Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea. I mean, that
Yeah.
can happen. Yeah, it looks expensive,
Sure,
but it's there.
I think we have the technology to do that now. Yeah, you just have a big bill.
Yeah.
He talked about a coffee table that was basically a keyboard or a computer.
Sure.
Actually, Microsoft made those at one time.
And I played Pac-Man at
They
Pizza
were
Hut.
called. They were actually called Surface.
Yeah.
Which is now a different thing.
Right.
But at the time, they were called Surface.
And I did consider buying one, but I knew I would never get one through committee at home. But yeah, those were definitely straightforward predictions, and that is definitely up Bill's alley. But those types of predictions are great. But the idea of, did he predict AI, and did he predict AI would be so hallucinogenic? Did he predict that it would need to steal so much copywritten material to be even helpful? Did he predict that it would require so much CPU and so much energy so that I could have it create a poem for my wife, right? I don't know that he predicted that. If he had, then maybe we wouldn't have the surprise of DeepSeek coming out with being able to do AI on a Raspberry Pi. I mean, it's does he get into those types of predictions? Because that's the stuff we really need to understand.
I honestly don't remember. It was a while. It's been 20 years since I read that stuff.
Gotcha. Because it would be nice if he predicted that we would need power. I probably could have done that myself.
All right, so here's one thing he predicted and actually came true.
Yeah.
Is the fact that you get paid to answer emails.
Yes, that's true.
Oh.
We do. We get paid to answer emails. Now, eventually, though, we're not going to get paid to answer emails because, again, the AI will answer it before people even bother sending it. Or the AI
More
will.
importantly, you're not going to get rich.
Right, and we're not getting rich now. Or the AI will actually fix the problem before you have it. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be nice.
Yes. When those days happen, we're all going to be doing something else. We'll be working on the arts, or we won't be actually creating any art because AI is going to be doing that for us. I don't know what we're going to be doing.
Hopefully retired.
Exactly, David. But yeah, I mean, Bill was a visionary, of course. But again, it would have been nice to say, you know what, in the future, we're going to have a lot more computers and we may need more energy. It needs to be plentiful and low cost. But we seem to not be able to predict that stuff. That's the part that frustrates me, if you can't tell.
All right, guys, I'm leaving.
All right, David.
Well,
Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling and telling us about Gates and what he predicted.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We do. We're not kidding. We do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish of all these folks that were supposedly so smart, why we're dealing with these silly problems still is beyond me. You know, it shouldn't be a surprise. I mean, again, our governor I just saw it recently in the news. He's like, maybe we should use natural gas. You think? You think we should get more natural gas down here? Of course.
Yeah, we should.
We make the most amazing jet engines on the planet, and they also they happen to power plants. And what do you need for those jet engines to work? Gas.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there's a way to get a lot of cheap energy here in Connecticut if you wanted to. But you got to allow the pipelines. You got to allow all this stuff to happen. So who would have thunk? I bet you Bill Gates knew that we would have needed energy to do this. But here in Connecticut, we make great pizza here. Wouldn't you want to be the state that had the lowest cost of living? Wouldn't that be the thing you would be so proud? Wouldn't that be great on your license plate instead of we make great pizza is you can afford to live here? Wouldn't that be a good thing on your license plate? That might attract somebody in Saskatchewan when you're parked for summer vacation versus we make great pizza. I don't know. I digress. So, as we wait for your calls, do you want to bring up anything in the news?
Yeah, here's another AI story.
Of course.
We may as well.
The rest of our lives is heading toward AI, Dennis.
All right. It turns out that the UK.
Yeah.
We're back across
the pond.
All right. Their Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Has been working on an algorithm to predict who might become a killer.
Oh my goodness. The Minority Report.
It was straight out of Minority Report.
Yeah.
But apparently it is a serious thing that they were doing or maybe still are doing, and they're working on it. And it is a little bit crazy.
It's dystopian, man.
Yeah.
The AI is going to use what? Your medical records, your DNA information, your 23andMe, your family history, your
It's
your
based,
income.
according to the article that I've got here, it's based on police data. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be medical records or anything unless some of that information is in like police reports.
Oh, gotcha. So they're going to say if you've been arrested 50 times, you probably are going to do something again.
Right. And I guess they're going by the content of those reports too.
Okay.
The specific things that you may have done that are maybe predictors. I'm not entirely sure. It's a very short article.
Well, that makes sense, though. I mean, how many times have we heard, geez, I mean, everyone knew this guy was going to do something, or everyone, literally, everyone knew.
I'm sure there's some validity to some of this.
Yes.
At some
I thought
point.
you were doing Gattaca type of thing, where it's like it's all about your genetics and your
it doesn't
family
look
history.
that way.
Okay, it's purely
It
the
doesn't
fact that
look
you
that
commit
way.
crimes, you might commit another one. All right.
But it's a little bit crazy. And the article also mentions that law enforcement is doing a lot of other stuff with AI.
Yeah.
And we have talked about that where AI is being used to generate police reports.
Right.
It'll look at like a policeman's body cam feed, and it might generate a report based on that. Well, I also happen to have another article about the Anchorage Police Department up in Alaska that had been doing that. They had been using AI to generate reports.
Yeah.
And they've folded that project because it's not saving their officers any time, and the quality of them is not as good.
There you go.
So
AI
they're
is not working yet.
folding it. So,
Well, we all agree it's not ready for prime time.
No.
Let's take a quick break and get to Andrea, Joe, and Mike. Thank you guys for calling in. And one line open for you, and then we'll get right to your calls. We'll be right back.
Have you tried hands-free Skechers slip-ins yet? Because if you haven't, you're missing out on technology that changes how you think about shoes. First, these are not just regular slip-on shoes. They're not just a pair of loafers without laces. But what makes them different is the technology inside that lets you just step into them. There's a built-in hidden shoe horn that slides your foot in, so they look, feel, and wear just like a pair of shoes you're used to. Except you don't have to bend down, struggle to put them on, or touch them. Try them at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Ground level storage containers, road trailers, or mobile offices. Don't get stressed, get Eagle. Just call Eagle Leasing at 1-800-GET-EAGLE or get a quote at eagleleasing.com. I'm Brandon Eagle. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
Facilities managers, it's time to think inside the box. Storage trailers and ground level storage containers from Eagle Leasing are the way to go. I'm Mike Eagle. Call 1-800-GET-EAGLE or visit us at eagleleasing.com. You see us everywhere. We're Eagle Leasing.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Johns Hopkins University has found that just mild hearing loss doubles your risk of dementia, so hearing loss isn't something to ignore.
But hearing aids are so expensive and ugly.
Not anymore. Meet Audion Hearing. You can get nearly invisible hearing aids without a prescription starting at $98 a pair, and they're ready to use right out of the box. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, and with over 1 million customers, Audion is easy to trust. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Brian Shackman here for Brian & Company and WTIC News Talk 1080. Hope you had a great weekend. We'll get you started off right. You know, listen, we're all really worried about the markets, right? Whether it's your 401k or your whatever. We want to know what's going on. Jill Schlesinger, CBS News, JillOnMoney.com will set us straight to start the week. And, of course, we have the Connecticut Business Blend with the Hartford Business Journal. All your news, weather, and traffic to boot. It's Brian & Company, the #1 morning show in Connecticut. I think just about anywhere, but that's just me. 5:30 to 9 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Did you miss Computer Talk with Tab on Saturday? Listen to the podcast on WTIC.com/podcast.
All right, we are back, and you guys are all woken up, and it's like 15 minutes before the show ends, and the lines are all filled up. You guys know we start at 9. Let's go to Andrea in Southington. Andrea, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I could be better right now because I'm like losing my mind here.
All right.
I've scanned from my HP printer to my desktop, which is a Dell, and it keeps going back saying to scan to computer, visit 123hp.com to download HP software. This keeps happening.
So it works for a while, and then you got to go download the software again?
Yeah.
Is it a
and
what?
then I don't know. Because I scanned yesterday.
Yep.
And then I went find it, and it's like, I don't even know where it went. I went into documents, into pictures, and into downloads, and into scans, and like it's not there. So I do it again. I guess this time I unplugged it, the printer, and plugged it back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now I have to like reinstall this software. I don't understand why this keeps happening. I am buying a new laptop. I am going to go with the HP Envy.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
With all my Dell is it's probably 6 years old or something.
Okay, that's not too old.
Yeah, I would suggest using HP's Print and Scan Doctor to fix the connection with the scanner. You download it from their website, you run it, it'll go through a wizard where it asks you which printer you're working on and what you want to do with it. You'll pick that printer, you'll tell it to fix the scanning function.
Yeah.
And it will go through a process of getting everything installed that's required. It may lead you through this process where you go to 123hp.com or whatever that site is. I forget what it is. But it may lead you through that one more time, but it should finally resolve it and stabilize it once it's finished. Okay?
So where do I go? Print and Scan Doctor?
Yeah, we're going to post a link to that. So don't go
Okay,
searching the internet for it.
Yep, we'll put a link. And
Yeah.
is it wireless printer scanner?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet you it's losing the IP.
Yeah, it is, but what the Print and Scan Doctor will do is it'll change how it connects to the printer to use its host name rather than the IP
address. Yeah. All right, Andrew, that should solve it for you.
All right, thank you. Enjoy the weather. Ha ha.
Yeah, you too. All right, we're going to move on to Joe, I think is next in Berlin. He's been on the longest. What's going on, Joe?
Good morning. Good morning. You know what? You complain about people calling you at the end of the show, but it's your own fault.
It is.
Absolutely.
I'm
'cause
sure.
At the beginning of the show, you have all these interesting comments and stories to tell that, I got to listen to them first before I can.
You're
call
right.
you guys
You're
out.
right. It's our fault. We appreciate that. Good point. Good point, Joe.
Anyhow, I'm trying to log into the Hartford Current website. And I cannot. It keeps going round and round and round and round. I did call the Hartford Current.
Yeah.
I got the tech support.
Yep.
And he wanted to log into my computer, and he wanted to know my login password. And there was some other information he wanted from me, and it just sounded too
much. Yeah.
Too sketchy for me.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I dialed the wrong number. So.
Right. Yeah, he shouldn't need your login password to your computers or anything like that.
No, he shouldn't.
Basically, any kind of tech support should reset passwords so you start fresh again, no matter what you're doing. They shouldn't require. That's why I joke about asking for people's passwords. That shouldn't be something people do. So it's good for you to not do that. As far as you not being able to log in, have you tried logging into their site on a different system?
Yes, on my laptop.
And does it
going
work?
through the same network connection, and it works.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's something wrong with your.
I'm thinking maybe he just needs to clear the browser cache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your browser is remembered something incorrectly, and you need to clear that cache, is what Dennis is saying.
So how do I clear the cache?
Well, it depends on the browser.
Well, we can post an article to do it, and we can find one that we're going to find one that covers all the different browsers because you're looking to clear Firefox, but other users might be looking to clear Chrome or Edge or whatever.
So we'll put a link for that.
We'll put a link that covers all of them.
Because again, you've done the test. It works on another device, so it's definitely something up with your system. You just need to fix the issue, and browser cache would be a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean, both computers are running Firefox.
Yep, and one works and one doesn't.
Yep.
I miss the good old days of just picking up the paper off the ground and getting your fingers all full of ink. Don't you miss those days, Joe?
Well, no, I still do that. And but what happens? They have all these good stories in them, and I just want to, I go online. Am I causing problems? And I'll copy them and email them to people who see about it.
Sounds good. Well, Joe, that should solve it for you, we hope.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you for checking in.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. All right, we're solving Hartford Current problems. Let's go. Let's go to Mike in Glastonbury up next. What's up, Mike?
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
I have two quick questions. One is my Outlook email keeps pushing the 49.5 limitation in storage.
Oh.
And I've been going back and trying to either archive or delete emails I don't need. But it's very tedious and takes forever. Are there any tools or techniques that might speed this process up? Because otherwise I just watch my computer spin the wheels as it does it.
Right.
Do you have the Outlook client, the classic Outlook client,
on your local computer?
On your computer?
Well, it's with Exchange on a server and then to my desktop.
Okay. What I'm going to suggest is if you have Outlook, it has auto archive tools in it. And what that will do is it will go back over a period of time. You can change the settings to whatever you want. And it will, as a matter of fact, it will also periodically do this, like every month or however frequently you want to do it.
Right.
And it will take email out of the main mailbox, which would be online with Microsoft, and it will save it to a PST file, an archive file on your computer.
Okay.
And it will kind of automatically manage that for you.
We could put some articles up there as far as how you configure that. That way you don't have to do it manually.
All right, yeah, because it's very slow if you try to pick them and do it manually.
Yes, sir.
Can you just, for me and everybody else, probably, when you say put an article up, what's the link to do that?
Well, we're going to post that to our website or to and to Facebook and to Twitter. Mike G will get it out to
So
those.
computertalkwithtab.com, which is the name of the show.com, which also works.
All right, awesome.
All right, Mike.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Our pleasure. It is annoying to try to manage your email.
It is.
You know, you definitely can automate. Let's try to get this other Mark in Glastonbury on. What's going on, Mark? Or Mike?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Love your show. You guys are awesome.
Thanks.
So, last week, you guys, I had forgotten my password for my HP laptop.
Yep.
And this time I got the model number and everything. So I did exactly what you wanted me to do.
Yeah, you put it back to factory fresh, right?
It won't. Yeah, it won't. It won't take it. It's asking me. It won't. It just won't do it. I did every step by step, the instructions of what you gave me.
Yeah.
And I did it, and it didn't work. It's asking me for the BitLocker.
Oh, it is BitLocker. Well, we told you.
BitLocker, yeah.
Yeah, we told you.
I don't have that.
Yeah, we told you that could be the issue. You're never going to get past
Is there
that.
any way around? Is there a way around it? I've got to get into this computer. It's a. I have the model. It's the.
No, your model doesn't matter.
Model doesn't make any difference. If you don't have the BitLocker key, you are not getting that data ever.
Right. So
I got the model number and the serial number, and I saved the box.
Yeah, not going to be.
Who do I contact to get that? Who would have that?
Well, wherever you got this computer from, it was encrypted.
Somebody turned on BitLocker because it doesn't turn itself on out of the box. Okay,
Right.
Somebody did that. Yeah. At the time that they did that, BitLocker showed them on the screen a key,
very long key,
a very long key. Okay. Now,
It's very
whoever that person is going to have that key, or they should.
Yeah.
Assuming they retained it. But there is no one else, nowhere else you can ever go to get that.
So we told you to wipe it.
I gotta ask you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
If they didn't retain that key, then what?
That's over. You can't get the data, so you have to start with the only option you have is factory fresh. You have to go and restore it as if it just came out of the box, which that instruction should still work. So if you're trying to go and do a recovery of a BitLocker operating system, you can't. But you can wipe it fresh if your machine has the ability to reload from a little area on the machine that's been saved and put aside. So you're never going to get at the data without that key, period. Unless you're the NSA or North Korea.
So, because it's a Windows 13, it's got even more safety features.
Yeah, you can't get at that data, which is a good thing if people want to protect their data. But if you want to use that computer for something else, you're going to have to wipe it. It's called wipe it and reload. Sorry about that information.
Yeah, but I can't. It won't let me. I don't. It's. I did exactly what you said. It just won't let me.
You should be able to get around that BitLocker to wipe it. You're missing something.
There's got to be an option in the recovery process that allows you to delete everything on the drive and start over.
Right.
And you have to select that option. But BitLocker isn't going to prevent you from doing that. It's just not.
You're missing a step.
There's something that you're being asked at some point that is just not getting you to where you need to be.
So we'll put a link up again for that if we can for you, Mark, but we're running out of time, hitting the top of the hour, so we got to let you go, but we appreciate the call. We want to thank Matt Soroyce for stepping in, slumming with us here on Saturday morning. He does the big show during the week, so we appreciate that. I want to thank Mike G for posting everything over on Facebook and X for us, so if you follow us over there. And, of course, Dennis posted everything over at ComputerTalkWithTab.com.
And remember, we want you to be geeks, too.
See you next Saturday.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
35 degrees, cloudy with light showers in Hartford at 11 o'clock. Good morning, I'm Bob Brown, WTIC 1080 News. Some snow on the ground to start off your Saturday. Will there be more? The forecast coming up. The financial markets ending a roller coaster week in positive territory. Economist Gus Fauché at PNC Financial attributes yesterday's gains in part to a potential U.S.-China deal.
The fact that we're in a better position on inflation heading into the tariffs, maybe that gives the Federal Reserve a little bit more leeway to cut interest rates later in 2025. I don't expect to see any Fed rate cuts anytime soon, but if those inflationary pressures are abating some, then maybe the Fed does feel comfortable cutting later this year.
This despite Beijing slapping a 145% tariff on U.S. goods. Voucher says, with some strong economic data in the midst of the tariff whiplash, that may bode well for the Fed